This is IT band 1, and today we are going to stretch the muscles of the lateral leg that attach to the IT band. In another video, I described the IT band in more detail, but just to recap, the IT band is a very strong, thick bit of fascia on the outside of your thigh, in which most of your leg muscles attach to. The IT band actually serves as a transducer of power from the hip to the lower leg. So it's like an amplifier of the strength of your glute and your TFL and other muscles. And the way that we can influence the IT band is stretching the muscles that attach to it and rolling the muscles that attach to it. In IT band 1, we're gonna stretch the muscles that attach to the lateral part of the leg. We're gonna keep it nice and simple because I'm a lover of dance and the arts. And as you build choreography for a beautiful piece, we learn it every 8 counts. So we're gonna build the whole IT band routine piece by piece, starting with IT band 1. Let's turn to our side. We're going to extend the left leg and bend the right leg. Widen the space between your toes because it gives you a nice base of support. And remember that both of your sits bones are also a base of support right now. From the sits bones anchoring to the earth, lengthen up through the crown of your head. I'm gonna give you a couple options, but for now we're gonna start with right arm behind, opening up the chest towards your right side. Left arm comes up and this increases the length in the spine. Take the left elbow across your knee and then gather your shoulder blade on the back so we're not letting the shoulder crunch in the front. And then from here you'll spiral, turning your head last. Another option, if you have some flexibility in your shoulder and you want to go deeper, is you can wrap that left arm around, maybe grab for your wrist and twist with your head coming last. We're working towards straightening the left leg, but it doesn't have to be straight. Press the left heel away so you have some activity in the quadricep and lengthening the hamstring. Good, keep lengthening through the crown of the head, drawing the belly in. And then to unwind, do it on an inhale. From here, we're gonna slide the right leg to the ground, angling it towards the left side of the mat, and take the left leg across, angling it to the right side of the mat. If you find you're very tight in your low back and your hamstrings, it might be nice to sit on a cushion here just to give yourself some elevation. Your knees can be bent, that's no problem. We're gonna take the fingertips forward, take a nice lift through the upper chest, and then forward folding as much as you can in this position. So I would love you to stay in this position as I talk to you a few things. One is that you might have a lot of sensation on that outer right hip. 2 is that you might have a lot of sensation on the back of the right hamstring. So back off if it feels like it's too intense. Otherwise, let's take one more halfway lift here and fold. And we'll hold for 3, for 2, and 1. Using your hands to help press you back up, we'll uncross the legs, keeping that left leg anchored towards the ground. Bend the right knee again. We're gonna take the left hand to the outer right foot or cupping the heel. Lift up your spine nice and straight. You can take your right hand behind you to just puff up your chest and give you some support, and then extend your right leg. So we wanna draw it just a little bit towards your left side so that we're getting into that outer hip again. And then from here, your next option is to open up right arm and maybe glance over your right thumb towards your hand. Good, you can decide how much you're lifting up your right heel. You may bend it a little if it's too intense. For 3, for 2, and 1. Good, coming back and releasing. We're gonna make our way to our bellies now. So just cross your legs, take your hands to the floor, and make your way all the way down to your belly. You're gonna walk your legs towards midline and take your hands under the front of your hips. So you wanna find the bone at the front of your hips and then press that bone towards your hand, because this is an important area to get anchored in order to stretch your quad. We're gonna keep the left foot on the floor, bend the right knee, and take the right foot towards your heel. What's gonna tend to happen is that the hip's gonna wanna pop off the ground. We're gonna keep that anchored. It doesn't matter how close your foot gets to your heel. It's more important to keep that hip anchored. Good, drop your left ear and keep pushing that hip towards the floor. And the last layer is to hollow the belly away from the floor, integrating your transverse abdominis. For 3, for 2, and 1. Releasing through your right leg, take your hands on either side, and we'll press the hips to the heels and take a child's pose in between sides. Reaching your hands forward, hips back, anchoring your fingertips and feeling a really nice length of space between your hands and your hips. So we'll get a little bonus into the lats while we're here. For 3, for 2, and 1. And then rolling each vertebra at a time to come back up to sit on your heels. And we'll take it to the other side. So swing your legs around. This time, right leg extends. We'll bend the left knee, taking a nice tall spine, left fingertips behind you. Right arm lifts up to the ceiling, and you'll choose the same variation you did on the other side. Elbow in front of the knee, and then turning, head coming last. To come out of here, you're gonna inhale to return back to center with your chest. We're gonna take the left leg across to the right corner of the mat and take the right leg on top. Remembering you can modify this any way you need to make it work with your body. Bend your knees a little more, sit on a cushion, fingertips come to the earth, take a nice inhale, and exhale, fold. And take one more inhale, lifting the chest. And we'll come back in. And using your hands to press your chest back up. Remembering there might be more sensation on either the right or left, depending on what's going on in your body. All right, let's extend both legs on the ground. We're gonna take that left leg in again, cupping the outer foot or the outer left heel. Take your hand behind you so you can puff up your chest and find some length in your spine. And let's extend the left leg. Now, a couple stops you can make along the way. One is we're gonna take that left foot over to the right to get into that outer hip. And the second is we're gonna twist towards the left to get a little more depth there. Remember, you don't have to have this left leg straight. If you want to bend it a little, if it's pretty intense, go ahead. And we'll hold for 3, for 2, and 1. Come back through center first and then bend and release the leg. We'll make our way to our belly. Cross your feet, take your hands to the floor, and coming all the way down. And even though we've already done this for the other side, I'd like us to find those hip points again and really integrate the pelvis towards the floor, because this is the most important part, in my opinion, of stretching the quad, because it's where we're tightest generally. So take your hands underneath the points of your hips and then press the points of your hips back into your hand. And keep that connection. Bend into your left knee, grab your left foot, start to draw it towards your left glute. Pressing the front of the left hip into the floor, hollowing your belly button away from the floor, and then drawing the foot in towards the glute. The other thing that your body might try and cheat is to allow the left knee to start migrating more left. You want to keep that left knee towards midline, so we're taking out all the little cheats our body tries to do. For 3, for 2, and 1. Good, release that quad. We'll come back into our child's pose, fingertips at the top of the mat, rounding your back as you bring your hips to your heels, widening your knees, dropping your face towards the floor. Hold here a moment. And then we will come all the way up. This IT band 1 is gonna have the greatest effect on the IT band if you're having any issues at the hip or the knee by combining it with IT band 2 and 3. But I like to have it in little bits so that if you have a lesser amount of time, you can just do one. But over the course of a week, you should be getting all 3 of those in.